Welcome back to Cities Skylines 2, everybody, and Hilland Bay, the city that I've been building ever since the game's release over a year ago, and it has come a long way. In the last couple of episodes, we've really turned things around, taking it from the brink of collapse to a thriving, growing city once again. We've redeveloped neighborhoods, built a brand new standalone office park. We've expanded services so that we can improve our citizens' well-being. And finally, rolled out a bus network that would connect everyone, inside and outside of the city. And thanks to all of these upgrades, our city budget is looking healthier than ever, giving us the chance to tackle a few projects that I have been really wanting to get into for a long time. So today it is time to finally put an end to this trash crisis that we have once and for all. And we've got a little something special lined up to make Hilland Bay shine even brighter. Let's jump in. Alright, so the very first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to need some extra land, which means I gotta buy some tiles. So let's go ahead, click in here, and the ones that I want to get are this one and this one right here. It's going to cost me about close to $70,000, and our upkeep's going to go up another $17,000. But these are needed, so we got to get them. Now I'm going to need to flatten out this land here, so let's get a little bit bigger of a brush, and then set the height, and we'll just kind of go over this like so. And then we're just going to soften out these edges like that. And over here by this, the only way I can get this is if I turn on anarchy mode. So I will go ahead and do that. And I'm kind of thinking, do I want to do the river edge? You know what? Yes, we will do the river edge down through here too. Hadn't really touched that in a while. So we'll go ahead and get all of those. Now I need to get a road built along through here, so let's go ahead and go into our roads. Let's grab the 4-lane road, and what we're going to do is continue this one right here. I want to bring this out about a little over 600 meters. 624 sounds great. Let's do that. And then I'm going to bring a 2-lane down this way at a 90-degree angle, like so. Perfect. All right, now let's go ahead and grab the incinerator. Now this is going to be expensive. Not only does this thing cost $1 million, the upkeep on it alone is $105,000, plus not to mention all of the ground, air, and noise pollution that we're going to get out of this. The benefits though outweigh the costs because we're going to get 50 garbage trucks, a storage capacity of 3 kilotons, and we're going to be processing about 3,000 tons a month. That's not the only benefit though. Because we're processing the garbage, we're burning it, we're turning it into electricity, we can get up to an extra 40 megawatts of power. And that should offset what we're actually purchasing from one of our other outlying cities. So I'm just going to bring it down here. We're going to throw it right about, I like right there. That's a good spot, and we can like do some trees and stuff around this at a later time. Now this is pretty much all I'm going to do to the actual incineration plant right now. What we want to do though, since our garbage landfill over here isn't doing anything right now at the moment, you can see almost all of the garbage trucks are over here. We are completely full. We only have like 2,103 tons of garbage we can have, but you know, we're completely full up on that. It's just not processing fast enough, and you know, with the incineration plant we actually get electricity out of that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to click this button right here. We're going to start emptying that. Now that will stop the garbage trucks from doing any more collecting, and what's going to happen is you can see the little like dump trucks are coming through here. All these dump trucks are going to be coming out of here, and they are going to be going over here. They're going to be picking up trash. And let's see how much. There they are. They are going into the landfill. Let's see what they come out with. There's our first one. Let's grab that. So about 20 tons for each dump truck. And these guys, let's see, how much do we have? We have about 2,000. So we're looking at about a little over 100 trucks in order to completely empty this landfill out. So I want to wait until this thing is completely. I'm not just going to like destroy it and just delete it. I'm going to wait until it's completely emptied out before I go any further with redeveloping this land right here. Now, what we can do though is I don't like our garbage trucks being just completely white. It kind of makes them a little harder to see. I want to give them a little bit of color. So I'm going to click on this button right here, which changes the colors of all of the service vehicles. And then let's paint these guys here. Let me focus on one of them. There you are. All right, so let's give it just a little bit of color. All right, so that's the front. So let's make these guys kind of a dullish gray, maybe? Or a red? I don't know why I said gray. I don't want them to be like really bright colors, just kind of a decent kind of dark red. All right, so that's going to be the front. Now let's go up here. Which one is this one? All right, that's the actual back end of them. So I want to make this it's kind of a green, I think. Oh, that is perfect right there. Right there. Okay, so now all of our garbage trucks, as you can see, because I clicked on this button here, before I started changing any colors, it changed all of the garbage trucks to that color, which is, that fits. I think that fits our city pretty good. Not the only thing I'm going to paint, though. So, previously, we've had our coal power plant. Like, I don't even know if I've ever changed the color on the power plant at all, but this blue back here just doesn't really match what I want to go for. So, I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to paint this kind of a dark gray. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Yeah. It's like an almost black. I think that looks much better. And yeah, for a coal power plant, it just kind of fits, you know? Alright, so all of our garbage is now going into the incineration plant, and we are starting to ramp up electricity production. We've got an extra almost 10 right now. So if we take a look at our electrical grid, you can see here we're just about even. So our production, we just went over actually. Our production is now sitting at almost 33 megawatts, and our consumption is just under that at 31.71. We're no longer importing electricity, that's not going to cost us any more money now. We're now exporting it, which means we're selling electricity instead of buying it. So if we come over to our budget, you can see our budget's still going pretty good. We go into services, electricity. Now, we're still spending money on electricity because I think most of the maintenance and stuff, but, and all right, there, the importing just went down. So we're now importing 0, exporting. We're making about $3,000. And of course, that's going to just keep going up. The more power that our incineration plant is making, the more we can export, which means the more money we can make. And that should offset everything as far as the maintenance and resources. So we should come out pretty even, if not making some money. Now, I do have our service fees kind of high at 136%. And our people are kind of upset by that. Let's see, high electricity fees, -2. So that's not great, but you know, I want to keep this where it's at. I'm not going to change this just yet because I want to use this money to offset the construction costs for our new industrial area over here. So the citizens have been complaining about trash for a long time. We did have to hike their electricity rates. But now all of that is coming to its conclusion because we are now doing the development that money was supposed to be going towards. All right, let's take a look at the landfill really quick here. So it is a slow process. We're only down to about 1,600 tons left now. So we've only grabbed about maybe 500. So it's going slow, but it is getting done. All right, so I do have a concept in mind for what I want to do here. We're going to redevelop all this area into something a lot more useful for our city. But I can't do anything until the landfill is empty and we save up a lot more money than what we have right now at the moment. But we're doing pretty good money-wise. We're getting about $34,000 an hour. That's excellent. So we're getting there. It shouldn't take us too long to get the money we need. It's taking a little bit longer for the landfill to empty. We're down to about 1,400, so we've done about 700 tons so far. So I can't do anything here yet. I also plan on redeveloping pretty much the entire industrial fields area. all of this is going to be changing. I've already kind of started it when in the last episode when I moved the taxi service and we put in our bus stop or our bus depot right over here. But you know, as you can see, we've got traffic issues, we've got a bunch of other things, so a lot of this it needs to change and it needs to be redeveloped. So I can't do anything up in here yet because I'm waiting on some money and some other stuff, but that will be a future episode. What I can do is while we're waiting on the landfill and stuff to empty, I can start kind of redeveloping the area down here in our little bay right here. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to jump into a time lapse as I start a little bit of construction down here in this little area here. Another small piece of the overall puzzle is now done. It's just a small block, but you know, it's all working together towards the bigger picture. So what I've done here is just I've placed down 4 office buildings here. I've decided to kind of start mixing a little bit of office in with our industrial over here. And right here on the edge of the bay, I think is a perfect place for some office. This one I did kind of mix in with a warehouse, kind of like a industrial building that is also an office. Did a little more detailed work on this one. As you can see, I placed down some trailers, did some surface work here, some decals, placed in a couple of these delivery vans right here. Overall, this one turned out pretty good. A couple of my building choices on why I went with these, like this one here, I decided this one was going to look pretty good here because of the actual architecture of it. Right on a corner right here looks pretty good. Same thing for this one right here. As this road kind of comes down through here, you've got a perfect look at that building right there where it's kind of at an angle anyway. That just fit there really good. And this one, same reason. For the most part, it's coming up this way. Just the angles of the building, I just think fit really, really good there. Also did some foliage work and added a couple of parking lots here to kind of mix everything together. Overall, I think it turned out pretty good. Let's jump back over here to our landfill, and that's looking pretty empty. Let's see what we got here. Just about, we're down to 170 tons. So far, we've got about $486,000. A little bit more trash to get out of here of our landfill, and then we can start the rest of the redevelopment plan here. Let's shift gears over here real quick to the incineration plant, and look at that. We are max on that production, 40 megawatts of power, and we're doing really, really good there. Let's check our budget real quick and see how we're doing on that. Let's see, electricity. Oh, we're actually doing really, really good. We're getting a income instead of an expense now. $19,984. So fairly soon I can kind of start turning this down a little bit so our citizens aren't paying as much on their electric fees. But we still have construction to fund, so gotta have that just a little bit longer. Alright, let's take another look here at landfill. It is now completely empty. All of the trash has been moved over to the incineration plant, which means we no longer need this guy right here. So originally my plan was to kind of move it and make like a garbage complex over here with the landfill and the incineration plant. They don't really work too well together though. I was kind of hoping that the landfill would just, like, if you have it and the incineration plant, like, it just processes faster. Like, it takes the trash from the landfill, moves it over to the incineration plant, and then just burns that. And this is just like an extra storage site. It doesn't work that way though. So really we don't even need it. And if I get rid of it, we can save about $62,000 a month. We're making pretty good money though. I'm making about $56,000 a month right now, or an hour. That's really good money. So we could save even more, and that would help us a lot more just by getting rid of it. We will lose about 30 jobs. Our incineration plant, I think, created like 60 though. Yeah, 60 employees. And what we're getting ready to redevelop here is going to also create some more jobs. So I don't think we need the landfill. I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. And if we do end up needing to add it in later, because I do think it would look good over here, I can always just kind of add it back. So it won't cost us too much later on. I say we just go ahead and delete it. Alright, so that clears up tons of river development that we can do now here. We can put in more industry, or I guess things that help the industry. My plan here is we're finally going to build and put in our rail yards. So that's the idea here. Let's go ahead and get started with that. First thing I need to do though is we actually need to unlock the train system. So it's only going to cost us 1 point. We actually have plenty of points right now. I'll go ahead and unlock that. Now that we've got the trains unlocked, I'm going to jump into a time lapse as we build out this area here. Alright guys, we finally have a rail yard in Hilland Bay. And I gotta say, this might be the most detailed thing I have ever done in Cities Skylines 2. This turned out absolutely amazing, if I do say so myself. I love it. And it's been something I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time here in the city. But honestly, we didn't have the money before. And this was going to be a huge undertaking, a huge project for me to do and to plan out and everything. And I like how it eventually came out. I'm glad that we waited until now to get this in here. The positioning of everything I think is just about perfect for, you know, what we have in our city. And then once we actually end up getting, like, redoing all the industrial area up here, this is gonna look so good. Plus, you guys haven't even, this is even like half of what I really want to do. The next big project I have in this area, other than redoing all the industrial here, is going to be, it's really going to bring it all together, if I do say so myself. I think it's going to look great. The only thing left to do is I've got to add some rail lines. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So we're going to go into our transportation. We're going to drop over here to trains, drop down here to the bottom. Cargo Railway Route Tool. Alright, so I'm just going to do a couple of these, and I'm going to kind of space them apart. I don't want all my trains coming out at one time, so I'm just going to go ahead and pause the game real quick, and I'm going to click on one of these. Let's do this one. And actually, no. You know what? Let's do over here. Let's do the coal yard right here. So I've got two separate yards. This is cargo over here, like general cargo. And then this one is for coal, because we have our coal power plant right there. So yeah, let's go ahead and use one of these. Let's do this one in the top. All right, and then I'm going to run that over here to this one right here, to Antelope Hills is apparently the name of that city. And we're going to run it back, but I don't want it to run back along the same track. Well, let's run it down over here. I'm going to have it turn around in this little circular area here that I did. And then we're going to put it back over here to this one. So it should kind of ring in right in there. Before I click complete though, let's change the color of this. Since this is going to be for coal, I'm going to make this a completely black color for the line. And yes, I think that's about where I want it. Alright, so we can just finish that off real quick. Boom, there's our circular. But I want to go in here and I want to find that line in our transportation overview. Right there it is. And let's click on here. First of all, let's give it a name. This is going to be Coal Run Antelope Hills for the time being. Once I get like an actual coal mine somewhere in the city, we'll probably run that over to that. Then let's change our freight train from 8-wagon to cargo train. I like that one a little better. And that should be about right, but I only want one train running this route. So yeah, that looks good right there. We'll unpause, and our train should pop in here somewhere. And there's our train. Why it's doing the little circle dance right here, that I do not know. It should have just came straight out and then went over here. I guess it's thinking it's backing up or something to go into there. But alright, so now it's probably gonna go back through this again. I don't know why it did the whole reverse thing. That's very strange. Okay, now she's hitting the line. So then it's coming into here. And then it should go into our rail yard, basically right here. Nothing to pick up because it should be bringing stuff into the city. And then off it's going to go up the line over to Antelope Hills. And my line that I have going through here is only temporary because I've got a lot more stuff that we're going to be adding to the city and things. And once we start redoing the industrial area, this is going to change a lot. But I loved having this kind of go underneath the electric power lines right here. I love having this kind of all down on a separate level from everything else with the retaining walls right here. I think look really good right there. All right, so that is that one on its way. Let's go ahead, pause the game again, and let's do another line. So I'm going to go over here. Let's do cargo railway route. Let's do this one, and let's head this one let's do this one up to Antelope Hills as well. And then we'll bring this back down. And I want it to, I don't want it to go through here. I want it to come down through here. So we're going to run right through there. And then it's going to come back up in here and to there. Before I click that, let's change this line. Let's do this one. Gonna do this one as a dark green. And then we'll click back over here. And that should do it. Yeah, complete route. Okay. Back over to our transportation routes, and again, let's see, we want the cargo train for this one. Give it a name and give it one train once again. We're only going to use one train on that one, so that should be good. Unpause, and then that route's going to be running. And that one's actually running just about perfect. It is reversing into that. That's fine though. I think that's kind of what I want, as long as it comes back. So it's one thing I've noticed, and I have tested this before I started like filming this section, and my trains will sometimes run everything from one city to the other backwards, which, I mean, it's realistic. Trains do that in reality, but I just don't think it looks good. It's just kind of weird to me. Even though it is realistic, it just seems weird, and I kind of wish I could always have my trains running forward like this. To do that though with what I have kind of set up here, I just don't think it's possible. At some point my trains are just going to be running backwards, so it just is what it is. All right, let's do one more route. Let's go from here, and then this one is going to run all the way up here to, what's the name of the city? Amaza. Okay, sure, it's going to run to Amaza, and it's going to run back over through here. Oh, where's my city? There it is. Almost lost it. And then let's have this one come down through here, there, and then before we click that, let's change this one. Let's do this one as a dark red. That looks good. And then we'll have it run to there, and that should complete that route, and then we should have a train coming out in just a moment. And one thing I forgot to do was to change the actual train until after I saw it getting ready to run. So as you can see here, we have the passenger rail one is what this one is, or it's kind of a European train, maybe. Not really sure on what that one is. It seems that if you choose European, it seems to always popularize that one. But this was the train that I wanted up here. Oh, it just disappeared. Oh, all of it disappeared. Okay, that's interesting. Here we go. This is the train that I wanted right here. I like these North American kind of trains here, the locomotives. That's the one I wanted right there. So now that one's going to come in here. It's going to do its little dance in a circle, and then it's going to come into the cargo route, and it's going to run. And this one's going to be running two trains, since that is such a long trip heading up there. Or three, apparently. No, we don't want three. Let me go back in there and change that. Cargo. This one. Oh yeah, it's wanting to run three. I don't want three. I just want two. There we go. Got our trains doing a little bit of a ballet for us today. Alright, and that should do it. I've set up 3 routes for our rail lines, and I really think that's all I need right now at the moment. We'll probably add some more. I do have enough room for 8 trains on here. So this medium train yard from Tygon's pack comes with 6, and then you can add lines on, as you can see I kind of did through here, which I do need to do a little bit of detail work on. But I've added 2 more, so we can have 2 more trains here. So that's a total of 8 trains altogether. I eventually want to try to get some passenger trains and stuff as well to run these lines. But there's a few other things that I need to take care of first before we add that in. We do have tons and tons of money to do that with, though. And not just that, but plenty of other projects that I can actually do now because we have the money to do. Probably the next thing I need to work on, though, is more housing, because we do have a huge demand for people wanting to move into the city now, and we need to kind of take care of that before that becomes a problem. So that will most likely be our next episode we'll probably work on, is just taking care of the housing demand. I also think I may do some kind of like a live stream with just putting small details into the city here and there. So I'll probably do the housing and then probably do the live stream after that. So maybe next week? Yeah, maybe. Most likely. And oh yeah, what about that trash issue that we started off with? Looks like to me, finally solved. Oh, No more trash icons popping up over top of our city. Everything is running smooth now thanks to the 50-some trucks that the incinerator plant has given us. Not to mention producing a ton of power. Oh, well, not so much anymore. I guess we don't have enough garbage coming into the incineration plant to now make us enough power. But I mean, we should still be good, right? Let me check that real quick. Yeah, we're still in the green. We're still producing slightly more than we're consuming. And then once we added some more housing, we'll get more trash. More trash to burn means more power. Yeah, I think everything's going to run just fine. All right, folks, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Hilland Bay is looking cleaner and more efficient than ever, and we finally fixed our trash problem. And with a brand new massive Railyard and expanded cargo routes, our industry should really start to thrive. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps out the channel, and consider subscribing if you haven't already so you don't miss the next stages of Hilland Bay's growth. I also love to hear your thoughts, so be sure to leave a comment down below. What do you think of the Railyard? What's another big project that we should maybe try to tackle next? As always, wherever you guys are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And I'll see you guys in the next one.